Life rarely gives warnings before it changes everything. It doesn't prepare you or ease you into difficulty. It simply arrives through loss, failure, betrayal, or a season so heavy that even simple tasks feel like battles. In those moments, most people ask, why is this happening to me? But Stoicism asks a more powerful question. How will I respond to this? That shift changes everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is not abstract philosophy. It is a survival principle. Because the hardest moments in life are not defined by what happens, but by how you carry them. Today, we'll explore 5 Stoic responses to life's hardest challenges. Not empty motivation, but practical ways to remain steady when everything around you feels unstable. 1. Return to what you can control. When life becomes difficult, your mind immediately runs toward what you cannot control. You replay events, analyze people's behavior, and imagine different outcomes. This creates frustration because you are mentally fighting reality. Epictetus made this simple but brutal distinction. Some things are in your control, and some are not. You cannot control what happened. You cannot control others. You cannot control timing or outcomes. But you can control your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions moving forward. Most suffering grows because people focus on what is outside their control while neglecting what is within it. If someone leaves, you cannot force them to stay, but you can decide how you carry yourself afterward. If you fail, you cannot undo the result, but you can choose how you respond to it. The Stoic response is not denial of pain, but discipline of attention. You redirect your energy from what is uncontrollable to what is yours to manage. This shift grounds you. It stops the mental chaos and gives you something solid to stand on. Even in the worst situations, there is always something you can control. Your next decision, your attitude, your behavior. When life feels overwhelming, don't ask how to fix everything. Ask what is yours to govern right now. That is where your strength begins. 2. Study your pain instead of escaping it. The second Stoic response is one most people avoid, understanding pain instead of running from it. Pain is usually treated as something to escape, through distraction, denial, or temporary relief. But Stoicism teaches that pain often carries information. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Pain is not always meaningless. It often reveals what comfort was hiding. It shows where you were attached too tightly. It exposes where your boundaries were weak. It reveals where your identity depended on things that could be taken away. A betrayal reveals misplaced trust. A failure reveals weak preparation or false expectations. A loss reveals what truly mattered. Pain becomes dangerous only when it is ignored or numbed. If you avoid it, you also avoid the lesson. If you suppress it, it stays unresolved. The Stoic response is to sit with it long enough to ask difficult questions. What is this pain showing me? What truth have I been avoiding? What part of me needs to change? This requires honesty, and honesty is uncomfortable. But this is how pain transforms into wisdom. The person who studies pain grows. The person who resists it stays stuck. Stoicism does not ask you to enjoy suffering. It asks you not to waste it. When you understand your pain, it stops controlling you and starts guiding you. 3. Protect your inner structure when life collapses. Life can take away more than you expect. Jobs end, relationships break, plans fail, and stability disappears. When that happens, many people collapse internally because they built their identity on external things. Stoicism warns against this. External things are unstable by nature. If your peace depends on them, your peace becomes unstable too. The Stoic response is to protect your inner structure even when your outer life is falling apart. This means holding on to your values, your discipline, and your self-respect, even when circumstances become chaotic. You may lose things, but you do not have to lose yourself. This is what creates real strength, not avoiding hardship, but remaining grounded through it. When your inner world stays intact, rebuilding becomes possible. A storm can damage your surroundings, but it does not have to destroy your foundation. And as long as your foundation remains, you are not finished. And this is where awareness becomes critical. You begin to notice what truly defines you and what was only temporary support. When you separate your identity from your circumstances, you gain stability that cannot easily be shaken, no matter how unpredictable life becomes. 4. Respond with character, not emotion. One of the hardest Stoic principles is refusing to let pain dictate your behavior. When people are hurt, they often react impulsively. They become bitter, aggressive, or careless. They justify negative behavior because something negative happened to them. Stoicism rejects this completely. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This means you do not allow external events to change your character. Just because life becomes unfair does not give you permission to become unjust. The Stoic response is to pause before reacting. You feel the emotion, but you do not let it control your actions. You choose behavior that aligns with your values, not your impulses. This requires discipline because reacting is easy, but responding with intention takes effort. When you maintain your character under pressure, you preserve something more valuable than any temporary outcome. You preserve your integrity. And once that is gone, nothing external can replace it. Over time, this discipline builds a quiet confidence within you. You stop needing to prove yourself through reactions or arguments. Instead, your consistency becomes your strength. People may not always understand your restraint, but that restraint protects your peace and keeps you aligned with who you truly want to be. 5. Be patient with your becoming. The final Stoic response is patience. Hardship becomes unbearable when people expect quick relief. They want immediate answers, fast healing, and instant progress. But real transformation takes time. Nature does not rush growth, and neither should you. The version of you that existed before this challenge may not have been ready for what comes next. The struggle is shaping qualities you did not have before: resilience, clarity, discipline, and self-awareness. This process feels slow because it is deep. The Stoic response is to trust that this period is not just suffering, but preparation. Instead of asking why things are not improving faster, ask how you are improving through the experience. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing forward without demanding immediate results. Some things cannot be rushed. Strength, wisdom, and emotional stability are built gradually. The challenge you are facing is not just delaying your future. It is shaping you into someone who can handle it. And often, the progress you are making is invisible at first. You are thinking differently, reacting with more control, and seeing situations with more clarity. These quiet changes may not feel dramatic, but they are the foundation of lasting strength. Over time, they will define who you become. Conclusion. Life's hardest challenges are unavoidable. They arrive without permission and often stay longer than expected, but Stoicism offers a way to face them without losing yourself. Return to what you can control. Study your pain instead of escaping it. Protect your inner structure, respond with character, and remain patient with your growth. These are not just ideas, they are tools. The more you apply them, the less control external events have over you. You stop reacting to everything and start responding with clarity. And that is real strength. If this message connected with you, write in the comments, "I control my response." Because in the end, that is where your power has always been. And understand this clearly. Life does not become easier after this. Challenges will still come. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still fail. But what changes is you. You become harder to shake, slower to react, and clearer in your thinking. The same storm that once overwhelmed you will no longer have the same power. That is the real goal, not to avoid difficulty, but to become someone who is no longer controlled by it.